was like, shit.
Did you cut the bar with that shirt?
Yeah.
Can't see.
That's major, dude.
I did it in a rush before I left today because like it was sitting in my.
Oh, you did it today? Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, dude. That's major, dude.
That's ill.
Yeah, that's major, dude.
Fuck, I should do that.
Yeah, dude.
I hate.
That's
now I'm
major.
thinking about
This guy completely.
now I'm thinking about shirts that I could have bought, but I didn't because it was too big.
Fam, how have you never thought about that though?
I mean, I know people do it, but I just never thought like I could do it for some reason.
Bro, dude, that's like
Even though I
major,
make
dude.
clothes, it's like.
That's like major, dude. Yeah, dude. That's
know.
major, dude.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Welcome to the Ataraxy podcast.
Number 13.
episode
I said it first.
Is it
not?
Friday?
It's Monday.
It's not. Because if it
It's
was Friday, I
Monday.
would have been like Friday the 13th. Ah ha ha ha.
You can still
Anyways,
say it. You say it.
yeah, it's Friday the 13th. Hopefully, this is our episode of bad luck when it just starts raining
Yeah.
without warning and all our equipment breaks.
And we have to just cancel this podcast.
And we have
forever.
to cancel this podcast. It'll
I-
probably not even make it to like episode 30 anyways.
I have a feeling that you knew that we weren't Friday. You just wanted to say that.
Bro, time just doesn't really make sense to me anymore.
Or at least in the summer.
I'm better than
the
that
sun's
now.
out.
I've become something stronger than time.
Bro. Was talking.
Don't incriminate yourself, man. I'm gonna bleep that.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
So snitchy. Hey.
Vegetables.
No,
Fucking-
he's talking about spices, cinnamon. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna taste this tea for the first time, guys.
It's probably cold by now again.
For the first time?
Second time I heated it up. It's definitely not that hot that you have to blow on it.
Okay, bro, it's not that deep.
Okay, but it's not that deep.
Oh, it
good?
tastes like flavored water, which is basically what tea is. Anyways, you went to yoga retreat. How was that?
On the weekend. It's pretty nice. It was really short. Like I got there Saturday morning, and I came back Sunday evening. So I just slept overnight, and it was. I thought it'd be more intensive, but really, like we just meditated twice a day, and then just some yoga. Yoga is pretty light too. I ran them through my yoga sequence, and they found it like super hard. Like they were sweating.
They were like, oh, y'all niggas just shared that shit.
Yeah, like it was a nice like small cottage.
It was like a day and a half, right?
Yeah, there's like 13 people there. And we all.
Oh, that's
we all
cool.
slept
That's like
in,
a
the same
small
place.
group.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, we cooked really nice.
Where'd you
food.
go?
It was on the Quebec side. It's like country somewhere.
Oh, like
Yeah.
nowheres.
Yeah,
Was it like super like? Was it nice?
yeah, it was nice.
It was probably
But it was
just,
raining on Saturday, so it's kind of whack. But
just hella land.
yeah, bare land.
Like not a lot of industrialized places. Just like
No, nothing at all. Just
fucking animals just
literally
running
just, like,
around. Probably
just-
smells like shit.
Didn't
like
smell
cow
like shit.
shit.
There's bare flies though.
Hmm.
Mosquitoes are huge.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I hate mosquitoes, man. Anyways, what did I want to? Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to talk about. Fuck, this is so annoying because there's a delay, so it's like ruining my speech a bit. Oh, I fucking hate that. Whatever, man. I'll just trust the audio. Listen, this weekend, cause I told you I wanted to do the hour-long meditation. I don't know if I said it on the podcast. I probably did. I tried it, and it was cool. Like, it wasn't like, oh man, crazy, like 1 hour meditation, blah blah blah. It was just like,
I tell the world.
I've been meditating in it long enough where I was like, yeah, you're gonna feel impatient. You're gonna feel like, oh, when is this gonna finish? Just keep sitting there until the hour is done. And that was cool. But what happened was,
Did you feel that? What you just said?
yeah, I'd say around. What happened was my phone has this thing on YouTube where I put a setting where every 30 minutes, if I'm watching a video, it's like, hey, it's been 30 minutes.
Oh,
You wanna?
get
Because
off.
like I had a whole thing where I would spend like 3 hours right after waking up on YouTube just watching videos that I've seen before, so that maybe I should get a warning. It doesn't work, by the way. I just kind of just press dismiss and I just
Yeah.
keep going. Oh, today Hamza's here, but anyways, and then I so it went off like 30 minutes into it, and I was like, fuck, I didn't want that to happen because the sound just, I was using it was a chakra one. Well, not really chakra. It just says that. It's just someone hitting the bowl and just spitting
Oh,
it.
the singing
And it's
bowl?
like 7 cycles with different tones. That's all it was. Sorry guys for the static. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know if it's this new thing that just does that.
Maybe it's my comb that's on top.
Maybe you should go.
No, no.
I don't know if it's this thing that does that, but it's doing that like every like 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I don't control
They can live
technology
with
that
it.
much.
Unless they're
Apology
pussies.
accepted.
But
And
it's
they
first
can't handle
world.
uncomfort.
First world problems are pretty insane and should be taken care of immediately
I
because
mean,
they're the
yes.
biggest problems in the world. But so when it went off 30 minutes into it, the audio stopped. So I was like, did it finish? Like, is it already been an hour? It doesn't feel like it. And I opened my eye, like one eye, and I saw that it showed me the timer thing. I was fuck, and I just pressed it and went back. And then from there, I got snapped out of it. So I was like, oh man, it's been 30 minutes. So then I know the time. Because the reason why it's easier sometimes is because you don't check the time at all, right?
You don't know the increments.
So you lose any track. So I was like, oh shit, it's been 30 minutes. So I can't ignore that. So I know that now. So I'd say like around 40 to 50 minutes in, I was like, fuck. Like you start feeling your body just telling you to move.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you feel this
Agitation,
eagerness. Yeah, the agitation. You're just like, fuck. I need to move. But I made it. And then the reason why it's funny that I like that same day, I allowed myself to fall off routine. First of all, it was raining that morning, so I couldn't go jogging. I was like, I'll go later, but I didn't. And right after that, like I was like, okay, I've been following my routine every day this week. Like all 5 days I've done it or some variation of it because I have enough things I can just like, if I don't want to do this, I still have 4 other things I can do. So then I went, I just didn't do anything. After the meditation, I just ate, broke my fast. That's the one thing that's consistent.
What time?
I've been fasting like every day. I think it was pretty early Saturday. Actually no, Saturday I was waiting for the drop to happen. So time felt slower because I was like anticipating it. I think I broke my fast at like 11, maybe 10.
Time felt slower for you, huh?
Yeah, it felt slower. Felt way slower because I was waiting. And then, was there a joke here I'm supposed to know?
No, I just feel like time for this guy's really slow right now.
Oh no, because earlier you were talking about like how you wanted to get into talking about how like.
Oh, this guy's just waiting.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it was just like this weekend I just fell off it. I just fell off routine. And I went back into like the shittiness of like you watching YouTube or you're just on socials or you're just watching movies. And in those 2 days fucked me up so hard. Because I woke up this morning, I was like, holy shit, damn. Because I didn't plan to have everything ready to record for today. So I woke up, I went to sleep at 2 and I had to wake up at 6. So that's already I already wake up just feeling mad, just groggy and slow. And then I'm like, oh shit, I have to put everything in the bag and have everything ready. And I have to also get up to go to work. And then it's like, fuck. And all because of those 2 days, I just allowed myself to fall off, which because like I had shit I wanted to do Sunday, but those things got pushed to later. Like I completely forgot to do the audio for the podcast that dropped today. So like at like 9 to 10, I'm doing that. I'm trying to get that done. I'm trying to do the promo video stuff. I'm trying to do the graphics we usually post. And then it's like late, so now I go to sleep late. And I wake up this morning, I was like, fuck, like just those 2 days just fucked me up so hard.
From just not doing your morning.
Just from not doing like that, yeah.
It's crazy.
Just from not doing that little like hour and a half to 2 hours every morning that I've been doing for the past like days. Because the way like there's objective things I cannot not do, which is work. Like, I have to go to work.
Right.
And I work a lot. Like I work good 20 to 30 hours. So if I don't do it now, I have work, which takes their time, willpower, and energy. So after work, like it adds up throughout the week. And that's why I took the weekend off, because I was like, man, I've been working all week, long hours. I'm just chill.
That's hilarious.
But the chill I should have done was not chill on being dopamine feeding myself the entire weekend. It should have just been staying away from it.
That's funny. I didn't know you had the weekend off. You could have came to the yoga thing.
Oh yeah, I could have.
Yeah.
I thought I worked this Sunday, but I didn't. Oh, the light died.
Who cares?
Tragedy.
First world problems.
First world. I was about to say that. You beat me
But
to
enough about me. How you been? How you been, bitch, nigga?
We just ate. Made these N-words, some food, and some tea.
It's funny because you asked him that earlier.
Yeah, you already asked me.
me.
Ask our guest
What?
how he's been.
I don't care about this man. He's been here before. I'm just kidding. How are you?
I'm feeling like ecstatic, clearly. 'Cause, about to be fresh out of high school.
Congrats.
Thank you, bro. Like,
You know what I told him? I was like, bro, this is like you just finished the prologue.
that cheesed me.
To the book.
I was like, yo, I'm probably like 15 chapters deep into like this stuff.
15
bro.
pages.
Chapters, bro.
15 pages.
No, 'cause it's a long book, to be fair.
Maybe
Oh, yeah, I
15
guess.
paragraphs.
It's
Even
it's
15
a long
sentences.
Cause like, damn, if I were to like rate my high school experience, I'd give it like a good 9 out of 10.
So I'm just the only one, huh?
Yeah, I loved high school.
You didn't like high school?
Bro, I'd give it like a
Weird.
5 or 6.
Weird. What the hell? What?
Give it a 5 or 6.
And this guy went to
almost.
St. Pat's, bro. Like, for you went to St. Pete's in its prime. So for you to say that you're giving like
Wait, are
a
you
3
saying
out
that
of
St.
10?
Pat's is shitty?
Yes.
It's
Like,
actually
yo,
not.
it has a bad reputation.
Yeah, I heard.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
only
but
heard bad things
my
about
grade
it.
is really good. Like my grade up to like, and the year after me up to like, the grade 12s when I was in grade 9, they're all like, good. And then the year your year, my cousin's year, he told me that he hates his grade, just because they're all hooligans. So the year after that, I just fucked. Like
I just didn't like it.
bad rep. Yeah.
It was
But
really
no,
bad.
school's good, man.
Hard.
Good sports.
Yeah,
Good
I'm not into
teachers.
that either.
Just like the learning experience in general, bro. Like,
I don't know, man. I was like, grade 12, I was like, I've told you this before. I was like, okay, I get it.
You were watching yourself, hating
I was just,
people.
I was behind the camera the entire time,
Mm.
taking the photos. And it's funny because like that's when I got into photography. So I was doing that actually, but
Oh, literally.
I was doing it literally, but metaphorically I was doing it too. I was like, I just felt crazy distance from it, mainly because I came in grade 11, so everyone already had their circles set up.
Yeah, that's kind of if you get into high school, like if you just switch, then it's kind of weird because you have to like
It's very tribal.
re-meet everybody. Yeah, it's
Like
very-
the way it's shown in school is not too far off of a representation. It's like the jocks, the football kids, the soccer
I don't
kids,
know, bro.
the basketball kids,
the
the
I
blacks.
mean, like, seeing my high school experience,
The
it
niggers.
wasn't really like that, bro. With like jocks, I've never actually seen a jock since elementary
Oh
school.
well, I mean, when I bring up jock, like we're obviously shit. It's already been 12 minutes. We're obviously thinking about like the jock we see in like movies, like the
Yeah.
hey loser, like they're
The
just
cringe
walking
stuff,
around.
bro.
They're just walking around letting everyone know they're douchebags, and everyone still loves them. That's not the type we're talking about. We're talking about just people, the popular ones.
Or, like just the group
alphas.
of friends that are on the same football team, same soccer team.
Yeah.
Football.
And that's like
Yeah.
the alpha state of like a high
Yeah.
school, is just being the star player or just being on the
but
team.
the thing was for my school is like there was that, but there was also people in that group who talked to everybody, who talked to all the cliques, and like it wasn't really too cliquey my grade, like everyone got along with each other.
I don't know, for like my school, I remember we had like this assembly one time towards the end of the school year, just about like,
Like
cause like
millions of those.
there's like a 12th grade not end of year show, but like a show that goes toward like the benefits go towards our prom. So afterwards we didn't at the time we hadn't sold enough tickets, so then like the
The lady
lady in charge of like the art program, she called us in. We all go in, and then like the first thing that she said was like, I already noticed that like there's a division in your grade, because like all the black people sat on one side and all the white people sat on
That's
one
so
side.
funny.
So we're just, but it's like he said, it's not, or I don't know, no, like you said, it's not like to the point where we're all just gonna be reclusive at
But
all.
it's noticeable kind
Yeah,
of thing.
it's like if you rock with someone, you rock with someone.
Yeah.
You don't have to be with every
Yeah.
nigga just cause like.
And
to
it doesn't
look like-
doesn't mean you don't get along. It's like
Exactly.
you just,
And it's just how we work too. It's
Yeah.
like there's people you're gonna gravitate to more than other people. There's
Like-
people that energy's gonna be there way more.
or some people you just don't get the chance to talk to.
Like, what a coincidence! Like, black people like being with black people, white people like being with white.
That's just
people.
normal tribalism. though.
Like shit.
It's normal like us and them. It's like, bro, like I met some fire ass whites, but there's always this thing of like feeling like they're alien from you in a way. Like you're more likely to like actually try to become friends with a person who looks like you, like same race, than like anything else.
Yeah.
And we're just taught that, and it's also in our wiring too.
I don't know, but like for me, when I was in elementary school, like I was like one of the only black people there. The rest were like
That's probably tight
white
though.
people.
The little white girl's probably all over you, cuz.
Not really. I was pretty like.
Oh. Never mind.
No, I'm joking. Of course. Not. Shit, fuck you, thought, nigga.
Fuck you thought,
Yeah.
cuz. Shit, nigga, I was getting Karen, I was getting she like Sarah, nigga, I was getting like I'm just trying to find like basic white girl names, but I'm
Lindsay.
realizing Lindsay, yes. But yo, cause that time thing that I said I was gonna save for later.
Oh, we still on meditation. We like tangented off.
No, we're
of it.
not.
No. Okay.
On a
sorry.
yoga retreat, then
Oh, yeah.
you said it was normal though. You didn't really seem like it was something crazy like the meditation retreat.
Yeah, it wasn't at all.
You just stretched very fancily. You stretched
Not
in
even.
fancy poses. Cause he said, what you said?
I
You
said,
said from
like-
your the difference from like your first year or day in high school or something like that.
Oh no, I said like
2 days ago.
like
2
two.
days ago.
Yeah, I feel like the first day of 12th grade was 2 days ago. Like that's
Mm.
how I feel. Like I remember it vividly. Like I was telling him, like I remember what I wore. I remember what time I left the crib.
You remember picking what to wear?
I remember like going to
Nah, yeah.
Rito, all these things. What time I came to school. Like
I still remember my first day of high school, grade 9.
It's funny
It was
how
like,
like
it was so like
so much
movie
hype.
like because
So
the
much
only
hype.
the only person I actually knew at the high school who I met from soccer, my friend Eddie, I got dropped off, right,
shout out Eddie.
and the first person I see, he's just waiting outside the school. He's like, oh, he's right there, so I don't have to like walk in and try to find people because we don't have phones back then, right?
And then the pop rock music's playing in the background.
Yeah, in our heads.
This is gonna be cool, man.
the Blink 182.
I actually did think that it was cool.
I didn't really like. Am I one of the only people that actually didn't fall for that stuff? Like going into grade 9, like yo,
What?
I thought I didn't think like
Oh, like it's gonna be a movie sort
yeah,
of
like
thing.
running to class and stuff. Like, fam,
Nah,
That shit happened. Like some teachers will punish you.
I don't know. For us, it was a
Smack
7th grade thing.
Yeah,
Like I
some
almost
care a bit too
cried one
much.
time because I almost came late to class. Like yo, that whole year I didn't get a single like. I was not late once. I was so proud of myself.
Jeez.
And 8th grade, that's when I started to fall off.
Yeah, I know. Like
there's,
eighth
yeah, there's
grade-
always that year, the cool, the year when you transition to being cool. You're like, man, I'm too good for all this shit, and you just start like, just not caring.
No, for
Yeah.
me it was like this when like my streak ended. I was like, okay, there's no point. It's sort of like the Undertaker.
Because it's like you know the rules well enough, so like
Yeah, you can
I can just
yeah.
lay back on this now, whatever.
I think the best way to get through it is to become friends with the teachers.
hard.
Yeah,
Yo, oh my goodness, having like a good relationship with your teachers.
not even just friends, just don't be a shitty person.
Yeah, don't be a dick for no reason. Like if they're being dicks, of course, like you can somewhat reciprocate that, but because you're like your hormones, you're fucking anywhere from 13
Your ego.
to 17, 18, so you're gonna want to talk back. But the ones who go out of their ways to be like rude,
Yeah,
And the
just like-
same ones that graduated. Bro. Like, yo.
it's so stupid. Because my cousin Seb, I don't know if you listen to this, Seb Veli, whatever you want to call him. You're ugly. Anyways, he was telling me how he got his last credit he needed to graduate, and it wasn't because he was good. It wasn't because he did anything. It's just because the teacher just had a good relationship, and she was like, "Okay, I'll just hook you up."
yeah, that's funny. In grade 9, remember my geography class? Oh my god, the teacher did not do shit. He literally he would say like, read this page in the textbook and answer the questions. But then when you handed in the questions, he wouldn't mark it. Like we'd never
dude,
get it back.
That was
right?
one of my classes too.
So like I'm quiet. Like I'm pretty quiet in class. Everything. I'm a good student, and I wouldn't make any trouble. At the end of the class, or at the end of the course, I got an 82. And mind you, nobody did work in that class except obviously like you have like the smart kids who actually get their work done, and then blah blah blah. So one of my other friends
and
in
then
the class,
the other ones.
one of my other friends in the class, he's kind of a troublemaker. We were like we were sitting beside each other the entire year, and we were doing basically the exact same work. I finished with an 82. He finished with a 62. Just because he would make trouble.
Yeah, teacher was like, "Fuck this kid.
Yeah.
Fuck this nigga."
Like, you know those shits on YouTube, like the Reddit things.
Which
like,
one?
Like you post something on Reddit and then like a robot just reads your answers. You don't know those series?
No.
No.
Wow, you guys are lacking, bro.
What are you talking about, bro?
You guys are YouTubers, bro, and you're lacking like this.
They gotta be breathing, cuz I'm
It's
too
like-
busy. I'm too busy breathing. bitch. Too busy breathing, bitch. But nah, it's just the thing is like, it's always the best way to do any kind of change. I think is the most effective way. The least
Intrusive.
kind of takes effort though, in a way, because it's through just infiltrating, and then doing your change from there. Because if you think it's so much easier to finesse your way out of high school normal high school responsibilities if all the teachers are cool with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like say this one time in my 10th grade history class, like before the midterm report card, my teacher was like, he talked to us like all one by one. He was like, "Oh, what do you think your grade is, and what do you think it should be?" So it's like at that time I was like say like,
I hate those ones.
not the quiet kid, but just like the nigga in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then afterwards, I told that nigga like, "Shit, I deserve like an 80." This nigga told me like, "Oh shit, I was about to give you like a 67." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, but you know, I guess I'll just put you to a 73." So that cheesed me for like the rest of the semester.
I've heard
Why
a
would that
story
cheese
about
you?
that.
But like, there's a positive ending, you know, on some Cinderella shit. You feel me? But it's like
Some Cinderella shit.
So then afterwards, I was like, I didn't take it like, fuck that nigga, bro. I'm just gonna do me.
You're
I actually took it as like constructive criticism. So then, like, I
Mhm.
developed a very good relationship with him to the point, like, say, like after class when he'd be like, y'all niggas can leave. Like, I'd actually sit down,
Have a little conversation.
have like meaningful conversations, bro. Like, not only to. I wasn't trying to suck up to him too. I was actually trying to learn shit. You know?
I hate that shit when you're just having a good relationship and they tell you you're sucking up.
Exactly.
Like,
Like,
shut up,
fucking
bitch.
talking
Jealous.
about like
Jealous ass niggas.
some real shit, like fucking gentrification or something, you know?
Just mad. Just mad you winning.
So then afterwards, I ended the year with like a fucking 90 in that
Wow.
class.
Jeez.
So then, you know, I got my plaque for like best grade in history class.
And you
I was
did
doing-
nothing just become friends with the teacher.
I wouldn't really say that, you know? Real niggas do real things, so.
Nah, nigga, no one worked at grade 12, bro.
Oh, grade
no,
12 is just
people worked, bro.
invincible.
Some people worked.
Well, yeah, the ones who actually know that like there's shit happening after and
Right, but
their
even
grades
those
probably
people are,
matter.
Like there's one girl who was in my grade, and she finished high school a semester earlier than us.
Jeez.
Why?
Like why, right? It's like you have to work so hard, like during, just to cut down on your time.
Just enjoy
For
your
what?
12th grade
Just
year.
for 4 months. Of, like, being
Bro,
ahead.
you know, oh, I don't think there's any schools like that here. Maybe that's what an alternative school is. Because the school I went to, in Quebec, when I lived in Quebec for like 4 years, the way it worked was very, very, very like independent, like autonomous kind of shit, where someone graduated like 2 years ahead, just because they worked enough to graduate 2 years ahead. So the way it worked is, it was like, of course, mandatory like classes that you pick, and then every class, they call them modules. They just give you a little booklet, and there's everything
It
you
was
need.
like 5.1, 5.1.1, 5.1.2.
Yeah, basically, you just have to whatever there's to learn is in that booklet.
Right.
I think there were textbooks. Yeah, there were textbooks too, and you can use the textbooks to fill in the booklets. And of course, like that's the one part. Second part is you organize your weeks yourself. They don't pick your classes for you. You just have every module has a deadline. Basically, every chapter and whatever you're learning in that year has a deadline. And you're free to not do the test, because the way to pass that deadline is to do the test for it, but you do that whenever you want. And if you don't do it before the deadline, you're at -1. So you're 1 behind. If you don't do it for, I don't know, math class, geography, whatever, like it adds
So
up to like
the
-12.
metric is basically just responsibility.
Yeah, you have to be super responsible and on top of everything. And every week you have to plan which classes you're going to go to. And there's a number of
That's
times.
so much better.
Oh, yeah, but in that age where you just want freedom, it's easy to get. Actually, when you want more, the paradox is like you got the freedom, but you abused that to the point where you became trapped, to the point where you can't get out because you're -25. Like I left that school at like -12.
Well, you actually went to one of those schools.
Yeah, no, I went there for 4 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was at -12 for the first 2 years. I'm good, but then I got cool. Started getting friends, and I just fell off. So you could be at the same thing. You could be at like +20, and some people just work their asses off to a point where by the end of like first year, they're midway through second year. So you could just finish your year hella early, and it would be this thing of just like sometimes you'd have to improvise which class to go to. And the only way for them to know you went to class is the teachers would stamp the period itself. So you'd have to get it stamped. If you don't get it stamped, they just assume you just didn't show up, so you get in trouble, get detention. And it was crazy, bro. But if you let the freedom get to your head, you would get behind and you wouldn't even understand, like, by the time it's too late. Like, I was definitely not supposed to get into grade 12. I don't know how I got into it, because I was way behind. I'm pretty sure there's a mandatory test that I failed, but I guess it was a Quebec only thing to pass on to the next year, because I fully failed it. And I'm so happy we moved. I think that's the reason why I didn't go to a Quebec school, actually. And I was like, Mom, I just need to, please, let's just go to this Ottawa school, because if I went to Quebec, I would have redone a year, because I failed that test that the Quebec government requires that you pass.
I mean, it's good and bad to have that kind of system, because it's like,
well, it's you want earlier.
Yeah, but you want that time while you're young to not have that much responsibility. So it's nice to just,
because you're already learning your
have that
place in the
relax,
world and about
I mean, it's
people
not good
in
or
general,
bad, because it's
relationships.
like you learn it.
Yeah, ups and
eventually.
downs. Yeah, because it sounded cool first year, but like when shit gets like a bit more like advanced math, and you also just start making friends.
Plus, you got to just teach yourself.
And you go into that rebellious phase, and you're just like, man, fuck all authority, and you just want to do your own thing. And you know that like currently short term, there's no consequences to you not doing your test on time, because all you have to do is just first there's lining up for class, because classes get full, because it's not like it's a structured, like there's guaranteed
It's
20
kind of
people.
like university.
It's like my max capacity. Yeah, it's my max capacity is 20, and then as soon as there are more than 20, I can't let you in. So sometimes it's 2 bells. It's the same as high school. It's like 2 bells, one to let you know to go to class, and then a second one, like if you're not in class, you're late. So sometimes like you'd see like kids just sprinting down the halls because this class is empty. They didn't line up in time because they were busy fucking around at lunch, and they just need to improvise and see which other teacher is doing what.
That's interesting.
Yeah, bro, the amount of times I had to run to get to class on time, and the amount of times where you don't get to class
Sounds
on time.
fun.
Oh, it's super fun. Unless like there's like a big consequence, like you've been doing that a lot, and there's like detention, and your parents are gonna know, and you're gonna get in actual trouble. But yeah, like it's just imagine like your group of friends, like you're all trying to get into this class. You didn't plan it enough. You just improvise, right? Because there's a lot of improvising that happens. You just walk in, and they're like, yeah, there's no space. And then your 2 of your friends get in, and that's full capacity. So 3 of you are out, and your friends are like, sorry, bro, I have to go. So you just run because you have like 2 more minutes. So you're just running, and then you get to the.
It's the phone.
See,
Can you hear it on the thing?
a bit. It's like faint. It's like, nigga, y'all ever heard a phone ring, nigga? Anyways, so you're running with like 3 other niggas. Your bag's on your back. You have books for not the subject that you're supposed to be going for. And you're carrying a bunch of shit in your back, and then you get into class. It's a minute late, and you have to beg the teacher to let you in, because if you don't, the hall monitor people are walking around grabbing everyone who's not in class to bring them into the detention room for the period. So you're playing cat and mouse with those guys, and you're trying to not get caught.
It's like a video game.
And then sometimes people would steal the stamps of the teachers and just skip class and just start stamping their peers while going to class. but after a while it adds up. It's like, why are you going 4 periods straight to the same class with the same teacher? Or sometimes we just like find ways to finesse. Bro, it was a mess. It was
Sounds
like it was a mess. Crazy.
French people.
Fucking French people. But I think it happens like everywhere, like other places. It was just crazy to just go through that.
Anyways,
through that experience.
What did you want to talk about today?
Let's talk about this book.
It's funny how it always takes so long just for like.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I want to catch up with everyone, and you brought up the high school shit, and of course we're gonna talk about that because it's like one of the biggest expeririences, like as you're growing
Rites of
up,
passage.
until you're like 30 and you've seen everything. or
old head
at least you
phase.
think you have.
You haven't seen everything until
You're dead now.
until you're like
Until you're in the
until your
afterlife.
7th lifetime, which you've remembered all your previous lifetimes.
Yeah, and I feel like until you're in the afterlife, because there's a whole different. Bro, I'm convinced now, eh? I don't think
Yeah?
it stops. I
Oh
don't think
no,
it stops.
there's no way, bro.
I don't think it stops.
Because like if you look at all the religious
Um,
texts and everything, like
It doesn't.
it's all saying the same shit, but it just gets kind of misinterpreted. So if you kind of align it all and like just take out like the flaky shit, it's like, oh, it all lines up,
Yeah,
which is like
the message is,
you are here now. Whatever you make of it is either heaven or hell.
and it'll determine how it is next time.
Yeah, which is karma.
Do you believe in that? Reincarnation and afterlife?
I'm agnostic, so like
What is that?
it's just like I'm not.
You believe in God, but you don't believe that we can prove it, right? Isn't that what agnostic?
It's like
atheist?
I'm open to anything.
Oh, I see.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but you
Like-
don't necessarily believe. Yeah, you believe in that
Nah, he believes in
any.
not
Like
believing.
I'm just not gonna shut any possibility.
Yeah, you're
out.
not jumping to a
Mm.
conclusion. You're just like anything could be true. I
But,
don't
like,
know. I can't know.
There's like a spectrum to it as well. So it's like, say level 1 is like it could be like you're more inclined to believe that God exists, but like you're
Mm.
still agnostic. And then like say like at the end of like the line, it could be like you're not that inclined to believe in God.
Yeah.
But you're still agnostic.
Well, what's your family?
My family's Muslim.
Oof.
Do they know you're agnostic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say a word.
But like
He has a nose piercing. I just took that in, and he's Muslim.
Oh yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
like my mom, I asked my mom before I got
Mm.
it, so she allowed it. But like my mom
The
and my
niggas hella strict though.
yeah, but like my mom and my dad, like they have like this belief that one day I'm going to like
You're gonna snap out of it.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
You're gonna quit your bullshit.
nah, he'll
He's
believe
like-
in our God.
He's just going
eventually.
through a phase. It's just like he'll believe.
That's
in
so
Allah
funny to
eventually.
me. It's just because it's like technically it's them going through the phase, and they're only gonna snap out of it after they die. come back
If they're wrong,
if they're wrong.
because I mean, what we believe in is just a belief too.
Yeah.
Cause like shit, even when like atheist niggas will be saying like, man, I don't believe in God, and they can be like, alright, but goodbye, fam. Goodbye literally means God be with you. Fuck are you talking about, nigga? Like
Hey, weird. I just thought it was just like bye, but like a good version
Yeah,
of
good
it.
version of bye.
Like a good, just
Like-
a good intention version of bye.
even like
Just goodbye.
like I've noticed
A good
so
one, oh,
many
yeah.
things for like atheist niggas, like shit that they'll do is say like unconsciously they'll say like thank God.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just cause we're like Catholic niggas
Yeah, you kind of just grew up
dominated
hearing it.
culture. Like Western is mainly built by Catholics anyways, so it stays, it lingers. Like oh
Yeah,
my God,
Yeah.
it's a term.
It's just in
To
culture.
them, it doesn't really mean like oh my entity,
Yeah.
all empowering, and they're just like oh my God, like a way of showing.
But also,
being
yes, it does
surprised.
mean oh my Oh.
G-O-D.
oh my creator, oh my source.
I could be referring to like
Oh my
Kanye or something like that. Drake.
Check source.
Drake ain't no god.
He's
He's
a
a light skinned little bitch that got lucky. Oh my God, that's what Outliers is about. Outliers is basically about trying to figure out.
Light-skinned people
Is that your
got
book?
lucky.
Yeah, no, that's the book right here. Well, the book I'm reading. I haven't written the book yet.
Nice.
You shouldn't have said anything. We should have just kept it silent, so audio viewers could be confused. Anyways, the book is about just the luck factor of the success. It's about just luck. Because mainly a lot of success stories tells you he's born poor, bad situations, bad conditions, very bad housing, bad like
Missing a
all
foot.
the odds were against him, but he found his purpose and he put his head down and worked hard, and now he's a billionaire. And you can do that too, kids. And basically this book is like, okay, there's some bullshit in that. Like, there's obviously lucky things that happen to those people. And it talks about how there's Bill Joy, there's Bill Gates, the Beatles, all of those guys. And he basically tells their story of how they came into fame, but a different version, and the opportunities they came across through just coincidence.
Serendipity.
That's
Bill
a nice
Joy.
word. Serendipity. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I learned funny because I'm not clear on the definition of that word. Don't say it to me, you fucking bitch.
Say it.
But I remember it
I'm
because
obedient.
for my creative writing class, my teacher was like, you have to find 50 words that you don't know from reading or just randomly, and
50. That's a lot.
20 maybe, I don't know. It was a good amount of, it was a list of words.
Teacher's like, yeah, just get like 100, you know, just like write them down.
Since it's writing and shit, she was like, oh, new words, blah blah blah, that are unfamiliar to you, but that you want to know the definitions of. And serendipitous was the first one I picked in that list. I forget the definition, but I still remember the word. I was like, this is a nice word.
It just means like
sounds like serpent.
like shit that happens out of pure luck or just chance, pure chance. Good things that happen out of pure chance.
I got the definition from the context of what I was saying.
So like, say with the book that you're reading, do you agree with like the content?
I agree to some of it, but I think it's also common sense after a while that it's like, yeah, there's luck factors, but the way I tie it in with the hard working, because he talks about it too, it's people who basically, he ties it in well with the mastery aspect, which is why I was talking to you about that like this week. By the way, I was supposed to finish 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but I got bored. That's why I'm reading a completely different book. I was like,
yeah,
I know this shit. It's basic like self-help. I just got bored. I kept falling asleep reading it. So I thought I'd just read this one. It's funny because I had read this one before, but I was like 20% of the way through, I stopped. I don't know why. I don't think I got bored. I just stopped. Maybe I disagreed because I was like super naive and thought hard work was the only thing. But there's a lot of luck involved. It talked about how Bill Gates happened to be at the university that had the first like good enough computers back when computers cost like millions of dollars in the currency of that time. Not like $1 million in today, $1 million back then, which would be even more right now. He just went to a university that just, I think it was Virginia or something, that had those, and basically ties it in well with the mastery aspect and the work hard aspect by saying that those guys, before this opportunity arose, because before, when Bill Gates went to that university and they had those computers, he was obviously into it, because I guess, you know, everything that led up to that moment just made him gravitated to that. And he would spend like hours on it, like a bunch of I think I'm good. A bunch of time. He just spent a bunch of time on it, and did this move? No. He just spent a bunch of time on it, and like nigga would fucking skip school, or he would just stay up too late, and his parents would be like, I always wondered why he was so tired in the morning, blah blah blah. So we would sneak out just to go spend some extra time trying to code. By the time an opportunity comes up for him to work for someone else, when they actually, because at the time computers are like fads to people. It's like so new, it's like grand, like computer size of rooms. They're not functional or practical, but technology keeps advancing. But he's into it and he's learning it in its early days. And then when it became mainstream, started becoming mainstream, people are looking for someone who might understand what it is. Guess who's been spending all of his hours working on that for the past year? So he has that opportunity and he takes it and founds Microsoft, and from there it's like it's like Microsoft, like Bill Gates, millionaire, like second or third most rich nigga right now. So Beatles was because well, first they met someone out of sheer luck. Yeah, I think it was someone visiting whatever that country is that they met.
It's England.
No. I don't think it was. It was someone visiting from somewhere. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Where they met someone by sheer luck, coincidence, assuming the universe wasn't at work. Right. And then that person had a club. I think it was a strip club too. And they needed a band to play, and their hours were like, they started off playing like small shifts, but they were it led to the point where they were playing like
regularly
every day for like 7 to 8 hours a day together. So what do you learn from that? You learn how to do cover songs well. You learn how to better your chemistry between the team. You learn how to just get better. Like you get experience. And then by the time when the British invasion starts happening and they move to America, they have experience and they know what the fuck they're doing. So by the time the opportunity comes, they're already ready. So it's like basically what I'm taking away from this right now is like, there's a big luck factor, and one, you need to set your mind for whatever you want, so that your mind, it's like, okay, I think we mentioned this already. Orange bike.
Right.
Orange bike. I say that to you 10 a.m. today. The rest of the day, all you seem to be seeing is just orange bikes everywhere. It's not like it's not like they're popping out of nowhere. They've always been there, but
Right.
your
brain-
mind is set on orange bikes, so now you're seeing orange bikes. I want to buy a car. Oh man, I should buy a car. All of a sudden, all those billboards, all they're showing is
Yeah.
cars. All your YouTube ads are showing is cars.
'Cause your
No,
mind
they've
is- mind
always
is
been there.
programmed to search for certain things
Exactly.
that you've heard of.
They're serving, your subconscious is serving you, right? The 95% of your fucking whatever happens up there is that is
Fucking
not
crazy.
that you're not aware of, is always working on trying to figure out. Like that's how people say, like, I'll be stuck on something, I get obsessed over
Right.
it,
Sleep on it.
I sleep on it, wake up, solution's there. And that's because your subconscious is working on it even when you're asleep. So you set your mind on that goal, on that destination that you want, but while you're waiting for it to come or you're moving towards it, you need to still be getting your practice in. You need to set your mind to find opportunities and then have the skills and then train to get more skills.
It's like competency
So-
meets
yeah.
chance.
So that when the opportunity arises, you have the skills to take it. Because a lot of the time, an opportunity will arise, and then you haven't been working, you haven't been putting in the hours, and you don't have the set of experience, and then you're like, fuck, like, I wish I could do this. Like, let's say someone randomly comes to you. I know you're into film. Someone randomly comes to you, and they're like, yo, I'm working on a short film, blah 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 blah. And it's like a friend who has pride connections, but you haven't gotten into filmmaking yet.
Yeah, like I remember I was watching the David Letterman interview with like Jay-Z, and like this was around the time like when he was slowly moving into the music scene.
Wasn't that 444 around the time he dropped that?
Yeah, that was like around the time that he did the interview, I think.
Great album.
So and like but at a point, like, cause like, you know, he used to be a corner man, like slinging drugs and shit. So then he went to like London with his pal for like this record deal with like EMI, some shit like that. And the niggas that he like normally hangs with, like the niggas that he would hang with every day, like on the corner, boom, 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 they do a freaking drug raid on these niggas. And every nigga there
And he
gets,
happens to be
like-
on the flight.
Yeah, every nigga there gets convicted for like 13 years.
Shit.
Like, do you know how crazy that is? And it's like when I think about like, say LeBron James, who's like socioeconomic environment obviously was not good. Like he moved out of like his mom's crib, and then he moved in with his coach when he was like 15. Like his coach was like,
Damn, that's
"You should-"
dedication, nigga.
Yeah, he was like, you should come live with me.
Nigga, fuck this phone. Oh my god.
And he was like, you should come live with me, and like obviously it still worked out, but like it wasn't for any reasons, like negative reasons, like, oh, his mom was abusive. Nah, he has an amazing relationship with his mother. But like I don't know if like luck has to necessarily do with it though. I just think that like
I mean, in a
That's-
sense, that is kind of luck. It's like, what are the chances that someone loves you enough to take you in and coach you and
That's
spend
true.
their time to, you know, actually improve your game?
Yeah, usually it's like not something a coach would do, especially. Like the coach just sees you on the court.
I think though that it's just like it's
Sees
just
you on the
like
court.
natural instinct as like humans, because like say like I was watching this Boondocks episode. You know that episode when like Tom goes to he accompanies the little kids on like that Scared Straight program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in like towards the end of the episode, after they're doing like that prison riot, they're trying to hold like Riley and Huey up for ransom.
Yeah.
Like the nigga gave like this speech at the end. He was like, shit,
I'm not here for any money. I just want booty.
like nigga said like I could have become the president or something. I was like, damn,
yeah.
that shit is so true, bro. Like it's
I
just
mean-
a matter of like surroundings.
But I feel like it's easy. It's super easy to go could've though. Like saying could've is so easy. Like I could have been a president. Could have just, I don't know, moved to the States and got into politics because I was born in the States. So I'm technically an American.
Cringe.
Why you say that?
Cause bro,
You don't fuck with them. You don't fuck with them U.S. niggas.
nah fam. To be honest, no, I'm joking. I love Americans.
Americans
Steve
are only
Jobs.
funny. Americans are only funny because they have so much fucking pride. It's like, I'm American, America.
No, but to be fair, their resume backs it up though. Like
True.
shit.
Yeah, they're in the country. You're a citizen of the most powerful country in the world. basic revenge shit.
Like when you think about the niggas that are American, bro, Oprah, fucking Michael Jordan, LeBron James,
Stop
Michael Jackson.
Stop naming black people.
I can't stop, bro.
Steve Jobs,
I can't
Christopher
stop, bro.
Columbus. I'm just kidding. No one likes that joke. Christopher Columbus was a dick. He was so stubborn. Reading about him in *Sapiens*, nigga was like, "No, I am in fucking Indian. I am in India." Like, no, bro, this is a new land. He's like, I don't give a fuck. This is India. And they're like, later on, they're like, yeah, no, that was new land. He's like, whatever, bro. All he did was just discover a new fucking continent, and then just didn't do anything else afterwards. Just not slaved away. Just fucking died. Actually, all he did was find a new continent and then fucking kill those people and make them work for him, and then started a whole new. I mean, he didn't start the trend because it was happening for way before.
So
but
funny that Columbus Day exists.
Oh, but like a major question I have for like my favorite podcast niggas.
Oh yeah,
In
that's why we brought him on. Fucking 46 minutes later, let's talk about why he actually came on.
In the previous episode, you know, you guys mentioned about letting go of racism. I just wanted you guys to elaborate on it.
Elaborate. I don't care anymore.
Ask me a question.
What do you mean by let it go, bro?
Let it go as in like, don't hold on to the fact that it's happened in the past. It's like you won't gain anything by planting more seeds of revenge or hate. You have to just, I mean, acknowledge it's happened, obviously. And obviously, like, you don't just let it go to the fact, like, oh, don't educate the people that it's happened. But you don't get anything from fighting back in the sense that, because you're, like, the seed that you plant has hate in it. So the fruits the fruits that will be bore will have poison in them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not gonna lead to a solution if you just fight back with hate in your hearts.
But like the hate stems from like a reaction, like a natural reaction from like
of course.
Right.
from like.
But what have we been
But
saying?
all things are reactions though. Like it's like
Yeah, what have we been saying? Like, it's emotions.
it's
Doesn't mean you
emotions.
have to
It's your
act on
ego.
it.
It's your ego trying to solidify or just gratify the fact that you are here and to prove, like not prove. What's the word? To just make the ego significant. It's like, oh, this happened to me. This is how it is, and I identify with that. So let me project that and let people know that it exists when it doesn't serve anybody. In reality, it does not serve. It's not progressive.
I could give you a great example. My sister, there's moments where obviously the way a fucking parents kid 1 and kid 2 are completely two different things. It's always different. It always differs. Like child
siblings,
1
right?
and child 2 will be brought up differently.
Right.
The variants of the same way.
Right. But environment is obviously different.
Yeah, environment, well, sometimes the same, but just the
Yeah,
parenting
no,
style.
yeah.
You
But
learn
even
from
the fact that you're the second kid will.
you learn from the first child too.
Yeah.
Like the mistakes you make with the first child, just you don't want to make with the second one. Anyways, sometimes when I'll do something, I'll fuck up something, and the normal reaction that my mom would have with my sister would be to either give her a beating or just a punishment. She wouldn't do that with me. So my sister would go, okay, well, when I was that age, if I said this shit or did this, I would get a beating. Why isn't he getting a beating? Why isn't he getting that reaction? And it's the same thing of resentment. It's like, it was like that for me. Why don't you keep it alive? It's not, oh, maybe that wasn't the best reaction. But it's just the fact that the emotional side of me going through that, and she got a lot of beatings, me going through that and seeing you get it so easy, I don't want that for you. Even though that's probably a better parenting way. And I know there's like bad things that happen to me based off that, just like resentment towards my parents and being secretive and rebelling. I still am like identifying with that stupid emotion of resentment because I went through it and you didn't. And I want you to go through it. So sometimes she'll just be like, in a moment where my mom is not reacting, she'll make her react just because she wants to see me go through the same thing she did. And that's what black people do. And that's what just not even black, that's what just you like
Tribes.
Since it's a black and white thing, that's what they both do. It's like we were the superior ones. They were the lowly animal slaves. Why should it change? Why should it be different now? Why should my son Brad fucking work for Devon? No, it's not supposed to be like that. And then other way around, we went through this shit, but they never did. They need to get oppressed. They need to realize what the fuck we went through by experiencing themselves. What the fuck you think is gonna happen? It's gonna happen for 400 plus years. They're gonna learn resentment. They're gonna say the same thing that we're saying. They're gonna do it onto us. And guess what happens?
Luke.
In their defense, I'd like to say that I don't really think that as a whole.
Of course not.
They don't think like that. It's like, say like if we were to start like with just like propaganda in the media, say like we were to talk about the knife crime in London.
Media's overrated though.
You know, the knife crime in London, how they're like the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna associate it with the black youth in London and say it's a black problem. When in fact it's not. You look at the statistics, you look at the history. It's like the most violent knife crimes have been perpetuated by white people, but they're not going to say that.
Right.
Of course
And
not.
to
because
me,
they're holding on to that ideology too.
Exactly, and it's not like, you know, when you're going to talk about like pedophiles, I'm not advocating to say like just because you do this to black people, you should do it to white people as well. I'm just saying that like in the media, how like they're just gonna in present day, bro.
Right. Propaganda.
You have
propaganda
freaking
machine. Yeah.
Barack Obama as president, nigga. Shit. You have nigga, Chief Keef. The last greatest thing that happened to Americans. He had a shit ton of white people, white suburban kids, low riding with the Gucci, Louis belts, the fucking AF1s, and these niggas were calling them G-Fazos.
Oh my god, that's so true.
Fucking,
He actually brought that to the mainstream.
The polos, nigga.
The two small polos.
The True Religion.
And the True Religion. Oh my god, that's that's Chief Keef.
Like, nigga. And you're still gonna be like fucking talked down upon in the media. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, say like back to the comparison I was gonna make with like pedophiles, like when it's mainly like done by like middle-aged white men in churches and shit. It's like they're not gonna fucking try and say some shit like that. But with like black people, of course they will.
They are now.
But I mean,
they are now. Me
yes,
too.
I agree with you on that. But the thing is, like when you have that narrative of the white man is evil, right?
Inherently,
like
some say that the
quotes.
extreme.
I personally don't believe that, but I think that in a
blacks.
sense, like shit,
They're not. It's just taught.
They're not. It's taught, and the fact that you might even believe that, it just projects it onto the people that you meet.
Yeah.
And like
Turns into
most
a
people,
reality,
most
actually.
people are good. Like they don't want to hurt people, right? It's just the fact that it's propaganda means
Ego.
that someone's controlling it. Someone in power is controlling it and wants you to perceive it that way.
Yeah.
who do you think?
The people who are holding on to that same ideology. The thing is, the reason, the point I give to you guys is that it's built by them. The society capitalism is built by them.
Do you still think that
And
they're
at
the
the
ones,
time, well,
pushing control?
yeah, mostly there's probably some of the blacks infiltrating.
And it's
Holla
still
J,
it's
first
generational,
billionaire.
right?
First black rapper billionaire. Anyways,
conspiracy theory, he's just a pawn.
nah. See, that's
of course
the
not.
self-loathing
I'm
shit that
joking.
happens.
I'm joking.
A
bro.
black man
Chill out.
will get out of the dirt and rise his ass up and get dirty rich, and then they say he sold out.
Yeah.
And that is not
triangle.
That's
because it's
foul,
not
bro.
legitimate. He sold out and sold his soul. He's not allowed to have all this money. He's black. That's the thing. It's taught to us too that we're low. That's why, like me, living in Haiti 9 years. To me, the way I well,
Nigga,
there's a
you
lot
lived everywhere, bro. I'm here in Quebec.
I'm international,
the
cuz. No, but like there's a lot of countries a lot of third world countries are like that, mainly because it's just taught to them.
Even
And it's
Nepal,
an idea.
yeah.
It's an idea that stays alive. All they do is self-loathe. They don't think highly of themselves. Bro, the ironic thing with Haiti, with all the shit that's going on right now, and it's how it's just never progressed. It's been like 20 years and they've been at the same spot. They're just the first black colony to free themselves, to become independent. First country to become independent. in the islands. First like slave country to become independent.
Okay.
And they've been stuck there. Like either it's the mentality keeping them there, or they just were taught that they weren't shit, and they're going about living with that idea still in their heads.
So the problem is really not material in the fact that
It's all
in
in
the
their
sense,
heads.
yeah, it's all in your head.
It's what Kanye said in that interview.
The switch is mental. It's like the revolution that's going to happen. It's not going to be televised, obviously, but it's going to be from within. It's like you got to make that switch of love within yourself to be like, oh, everyone's going through shit, and like I might like this might have media's propagating this, but it doesn't mean that this guy sees it that way.
Everyone has 7 to 12 years of shit that they were taught that was not in their control whatsoever.
What are you
It's,
gonna
it's
say?
not really that simple though, because like one day when I was just like thinking to myself, I was like, fuck, the most prosperous country in Africa is fictional. Fucking Wakanda, my nigga. Wakanda is the most prosperous freaking nation in Africa, and it's fictional. And it's like you just sit down, you do some research, you look at the numerous amount of freaking natural resources that all of these African countries possess. And it's like if you look at like where freaking Wakanda is, it's like basically Congo, right?
You know what's funny? Nah, actually finish.
So then, like, you know, it's Congo, and like Congo is very rich in like natural resources, but they're being exploited.
Yeah.
And like
They got exploited.
they're still
And yeah, they probably still are.
they still are, but like
definitely.
all over Africa,
It's full.
I'm gonna run. Get my ass.
are we still on?
I mean, we're on in this one.
All over
Now we'll just wrap it up. It's 58 minutes.
I think we'll go for like 10 more minutes.
all over Africa, like a bunch of African countries are being exploited by like China.
Right. But I mean, is it exploitation or is it opportunity? Because it's both, right?
Definitely.
Because in the sense that, like,
Definitely
I've listened
both.
to Fela Kuti's music, right? And what happened was, like, Africans oppressing Africans is what's happened. Because the Africans that are in power, who have power, be like, they're being offered whatever it is, money, any sort of remuneration, right? It's like, oh, I get this if you let me do this to your land, to your people. They go, okay,
Yeah, but
take it.
Who's the one who told them to?
Well, that's the thing, right?
That's the
It's
thing.
It's
It's
a
like-
taught thing to be submissive, so they're just gonna let it happen.
Because it's like, say the
'Cause they think
moment
lowly of themselves.
that you have like a leader who could bring you out the freaking mud, you're gonna get fucking killed, nigga. Patrice Lumumba
Yeah.
from Congo. What happened to him?
Here's the thing, though.
Assassinated, bro. I heard that, like, they just took him in the woods and killed him.
Like,
and then,
bro,
like,
It's fucked up.
It-
And it just kept that's it.
He
Just walked
literally
away.
would have brought them out the mud, bro. But like, shit.
but that's also the thing. Like, look at Bob Marley, right? People, like, now he's freedom fighter.
Mm.
Huge, right?
His
Everybody
ideas.
loves him. But when he was actually making his career,
The Jamaican
the Jamaican people were like, ah, this guy, like, hippie, blah, 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 blah. He's, like, he hasn't gone through that route of, oh, school, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't gone through the normal route.
Mm.
He's different. So fuck this guy.
I think a lot of it is mental. I think a lot of it is not
It's
even.
all mental.
Yeah, if
It's-
not,
that's where
if not,
it's where it
if not
stems
all
from.
of it, I think most, and that's literally what Ye said, just very, very poorly.
Have you
He's
seen
just-
that video of that?
he was
Like,
probably high.
there was this protest. It was like last year, 2 years ago, of the KKK people, and then just like a group of black people. And there's this one white guy that was just like yelling, swearing at the black dude, and the black dude, he just hugs him.
Aw.
It's just love, right? It's like at that point, what can the guy do? It's like,
I think
does he fight back?
because he's expecting him to fight back.
Exactly. That's what he wants to happen. So
He wants
it
it to be
to happen so he
reciprocated.
can fight back as well and like actually just satisfy his ego. It's like, oh, do this now. But instead, the guy hugs him and like, what can you do? Is he gonna fight back? If he fights back, how many black people are there behind him that's gonna like defend him? You know.
Exactly.
And the
And-
thing that broke it up was just love. And it's so easy to say, but it's like if everybody were to make that switch on both sides and just let the problems go, and obviously like educate the people. I'm not saying like just leave
Yeah.
it behind. Educate
It's a-
the people. Let
it's
them
a
know what happened.
Big point in like the history of humans for every human to actually know.
Mhm.
Like, I'm talking slavery here, and even
Just little things,
world
too.
wars too, and like little shit. Like that's something every human should know. I think every human should know the history of just humans itself,
Just shit that has happened.
just to understand what's in our wiring as human beings and what we're actually wired to be like, because it's a wiring thing. We're just shit, like biologically, just because we're still the same niggas we were 200,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago. We're still the same thing. Our brains are
but our
biology
egos are
is
so
still-
strong that like the moment it arises, it's like grab it, do that, respond to your ego, satisfy it.
Yeah, because normally we're animals. We're not
Yeah.
supposed to be able to even fight back against this
Right.
thing.
But we have that conscious.
But we
We're
have
blessed
that
with the
ability.
consciousness. It's like you can step back and control it. Like we're the only animal that can actually control their breath while we're running. That's why we're so good at hunting.
The only
Animals, they
animal
go.
can think about ourselves, thinking about ourselves.
Humans, we can
thinking.
take like every 4 breaths, we can take 1 inhale, 1 exhale. What that allows us to do is that's what separates us from animals and humans. We have that conscious ability to step back and be
We're
like,
the
this
only
is wrong.
we're the only animals capable of causing our extinction, besides just natural.
Well,
shit.
yes, that too, but that's the dark side of it. But the bright side of it is we can use this
Yeah,
knowledge
we
to
have control. Like we were given a tool, and some people are using it wisely. Some people aren't using it wisely. Some people are just
and some people
not
don't even
using
know
it.
that the tool
Yeah,
exists.
Some people are just not using it at all. Some people don't even know it exists. Some people don't even know about the fact that it might exist in general. So but what he said, was just eventually it just becomes in your head. That's all he said. Because he said it's 400 million of y'all and a few of them, and you're keeping it going. Well, it's all of y'all for 400 years with little them, because they're inferior, 100%. It's like millions of them niggas being imported, like 20 mil being imported, and it's like probably like hundreds of
They can't
whites.
fight back.
They have weapons, of course, but after a while, it's too much. But what they're taught growing up, being slave, is like, look at what we've done to you. Look at what we can do to you. We're the superior race. As you're growing up, you hear this. What are you going to believe? You're going to believe it. You're going to think lowly of yourself. You're going to think that you're never going to be able. It's this actually, it's a term that niggas use in psychology now. I think it's called panopticon or something, where they place a lighthouse in a prison to make the prisoners feel like they're always being watched, even though there's no one there. And eventually the prisoners just watch themselves and stay like they just stay good just because they feel like they're being watched. Just think they are, even though they're not. It's just in their heads that they're just being watched all the time, and that like there's going to be consequences to what they do, and that just makes them. That's very risky because you're gonna move definitely, but whatever. And it's just it's just in your. A lot of it is in your head. The reason why I read Haiti's history, it was a long battle for us to be free. A lot of them died, but it still takes that brave person who's like, I'll sacrifice my life so that my grandkids don't have to experience this shit. And what happens is that fear of death makes you just stay indifferent, because you know if you try to like make the first move, it's the same thing of why would I recycle? It's just me doing it. No one else is doing it. What difference am I gonna make? Same thing. I'm gonna die, so like I just rather sit here in misery and die twice, because my life I'm living right now is not a life. Like
No one's helping me. Everyone's doing the same.
Yeah, I'm an animal. Like no one cares about me. They don't even give me a name. Just give me a number, and they fucking yell me this fucking word that's just supposed to be degrading and make me feel like less than I am, which is the same thing as them. So you're thinking all of this. You're like, what difference am I gonna make? I'm insignificant. They told me I am. I believe that I am. My parents told me that I am, because my parents were told that by their parents. So it's like all this shit. It's like, why would I try to put my life on the line for my people who are way more inferior than those people, because those people told us. So the reason why the independence happened is because they just had enough. They're like, even if I die, I don't want people generations down, my people from generations down, to experience this shit. So I'm gonna do something about it. I'll die right now if I have to.
One
And that's
one
basically-
analogy I can make. So Liverpool and United, right? Rivals, obviously, right? Closest, like super rivals. Like the fans hate each other. But when it comes to something like Hillsborough, have you heard of Hillsborough? Right. 96 people got crushed in the stadium in one of the finals because police, whatever, they didn't manages the situation. When a situation like that arises, and obviously there's an annual memorial, right? People come together for a greater good. It's not just Liverpool versus Man United. It's the Hillsborough, the people's lives that were tragically taken away. It's a greater good that they've come together for. So in the same sense, like both the sides, they should come together and be like, wait, like we're not just fighting for my team or your team.
Fighting for us.
We're fighting for humanity. It's like
all of us.
let's progress together.
That shit just stops mattering.
Yeah. It's insignificant because at the end of the day, it's like I can fight over United versus Liverpool, but when it becomes hockey versus soccer, we're on the same team.
Yeah. And when it becomes sports versus no sports, hockey and soccer are on the same team.
Exactly.
Like,
So
for sure, I feel as though that's like the best approach that like we can take towards like
Yeah, but it's hard.
exactly.
But love is not easy. Love is way just like
One thing
it's a
that
hard thing because your ego doesn't. Because the thing about love is, it won't get reciprocated a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because people are just it's just way.
And you shouldn't
easier
expect
just
it to be
a dick.
reciprocated
That's the
either.
thing. The best love is a love where you don't expect
That's
it
real
to
love,
come back.
unconditional,
That's the
right?
real one. Actually, it's not even the best one. It's just the real one. Because it's not love if you're expecting it in the return. If you give this
To a
and-
homeless person, give a homeless man $20. Don't expect it back.
and then you're
just
like,
doing it
yeah,
just 'cause,
oh
right?
yeah, someone will give me $20 one day. You give it not because you actually care that person will, I don't know, maybe find some
Pay
food,
back.
find shelter, blah blah blah. No, you're doing it because you think it's gonna cycle back to you. You're not, and obviously it does because good karma, right?
Right.
But if you're doing it off that intention of getting it back,
It cancels
it's
out
not love.
almost.
It's not love. It's just greed or
Yeah.
selfish. You're not even doing
Because
it
at
for
that point, you're going to be expecting for that return to be reciprocated, right? When is this going to happen? It didn't happen now. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This guy didn't do this. I got to get him back. When you just let it go. And that's what I mean by let it go. It's not as in like, oh, it happened, whatever, don't care about it.
Yeah, that's
it
indifference.
happened, but
it's just indifference.
let it go. And like, obviously, it's just language, right? But
Yeah, it's hard
But what I mean
to
is
understand
that what I just explained.
Mm,
I can't put that into words because we just tried to do it over like 10 minutes, but you get the gist, right?
that's why
Letting go is just
I asked for you guys to elaborate.
it's all just ideas. Everything is just ideas. Something only exists. It's nigga Sapiens. Oh my god, thank you for that book. Our ability to
Home, bro.
oh yeah.
Bro.
The reason why we've managed to colonize this planet is because of our ability to collaboratively agree upon imagined things. Money is not fucking real, but we've all agreed to go buy that game, to go like with that game of money, and that has managed to build all of these things. Never forget, bro, you're literally bringing organized fabric to this counter and giving this now digital money, this number on your bank account that is no different than numbers I could type right now. I could type a fake number, but it doesn't matter because it's not from this specific app or website. I can literally just tap and
That's
then
beautiful.
that fake money is transferred to that corporation and now they're richer. And it's not real. The universe does not give a shit about
Crazy
that shit.
And it's like also the people who go like, oh, capitalism's evil. Like, no, bro, capitalism is the free market. It's like
It is.
I have
It's our
a brand.
best solution so far.
Yes.
Every
yes.
attempt at as an alternative has failed.
Yeah.
Communism.
Because like, look, I have a brand that pushes whatever it is. If I am wholesome, if I give back, if I operate just from pure love, then it's like, oh, people go like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever, I'll support it, blah blah blah. But if I don't, if like I have like child labor, blah blah blah, people hear of that and be like, okay, let's not maybe support them. That's it. All comes back to the consumer because we have that choice. Any other system, we kind of don't. So it's like, it's not that capitalism's evil. It's we're feeding the machine. It's like, oh, capitalism's evil, but you have the newest iPhone, like.
You're tweeting capitalism evil.
Evil.
Yeah, you're tweeting it. That's so funny.
And it's just like, man, like it's look at all this technology today and like how many smart people, like put a room of 1,000 smart people, like 1,000 people, put them in all one room and just try to get to the goal that is world peace, and whatever it is, solve a problem. How hard can it be?
World
Realistically,
peace doesn't mean no wars or conflict though. World peace does not mean that.
I don't even think
Just
it's
small little
possible.
like conflicts because you need it.
Right, you need conflict.
Because you can't have peace
Right.
without.
It's just, I mean, just on a big scale, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel as though
We have world peace right now. I'm convinced. We just have little shits that are happening
Yeah.
that just keep happening.
which is
And-
important too, because
is-
like we're all just trying to resolve them.
Because don't forget, like life is designed to give us problems, and when it doesn't, we create them for ourselves.
Right. You're born, you don't know how
So
to walk.
there's
You figure it out.
Always gonna be issues.
I
Like
feel
you,
as though the ending of like One Piece is gonna give us the answers to this shit, bro.
I don't watch.
You don't even
that
watch.
shit.
Are you caught up right now?
Of course.
To the
bro.
manga or the
Yeah, you know,
anime?
manga shit, bro.
I'm a little bit behind.
Manga's boring. Anyways,
It's actually not. One Piece manga is good.
but yeah, just like money is imaginary, so are fucking companies, nations, races are fucking imaginary.
Yes, I read an article about that too a couple of days ago, and it makes like a lot
Like
of
taking
sense.
like
you know?
we're actually all just brothers and sisters.
Dog.
There's no way. Okay,
This is just one big
it's
incest
like
orgy, bro.
The fact that like we start from a cell and become this means
Just
that
incest, bro.
the race started from 0,
This is all incest,
which means it had to go to
we're all
1,
just fucking
2,
our
3,
brothers
4.
and sisters.
something interesting that I read like
one big incest orgy, bro. This
We're on
is
two
one,
different
this is one
levels.
major orgy, bro.
I read something interesting about that too, where it's like that whole notion of like, because at a period when it was just like
Anti-light's gonna
you
be
didn't
crazy.
really believe in like races and stuff until like pseudo scientific nonsense pulled up and then was just saying like, yeah, you know, the darker your skin is, the more dangerous you are towards me. The lighter your
That's
skin
so
is,
absurd, man.
like
The
bro,
more light you've been exposed to, basically.
And that's why like the N word, it just seems silly to me if you get offended by it. I mean, obviously,
What's
yes,
the
yes.
N-word?
I don't know, negligence, I think. But it's like yes, the intent. Yes, it matters if someone's like has ill intent towards you, but at the end of the day, you're still the one who controls if you react or not. And the most important thing is intent. So if someone's aiming inward at you, but they have hate in their heart, you're gonna feel that, right?
so let
We've
me,
gotten lost into our own games, bro.
let me give you a scenario, because personally for
lost.
me, when, like
Trapped.
say like in class, right, a
Mhm.
teacher says it, for like educational purposes, I'll just brush it off.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But,
Educational
like,
purpose.
say like
This is how it's spelled, just in case.
but it's like it's common in universities. Like even my sister, she was telling me about like one of her friends at Ottawa U, how she actually approached her teacher at the end of the course, telling her how like,
It was offensive.
yeah, she didn't need to say it. It's like, to me it's like you like, of course, like not everybody has like the same reaction, but like if somebody's gonna pull up on you and then tell you like, I don't feel as though that you had to
Right.
say with the hard ER, nigga, like fam, you could have just said the N word.
But
Man, I think like
My
it all
point-
just it boils down
my
to
point-
intent.
My point with saying that is just like money and nations and countries are all
Yes.
imaginary.
It's linked-
Languages
it's linked,
too.
linked to your
All words are made up,
yes.
and
They are
given
letters.
a meaning.
They're letters put together to form a word. It's a sound that your vocal cords make.
When we're speaking to each other, we're just playing a game.
And it's like what there's one thing like there's okay. There's two. Let's say there's two people. One has ill intent when saying it. The other is using it for humor, just for a joke. And whether you think it's bad or not, it's like the other guy has no ill intent in his heart, and he probably even realizes the fact that basing just whatever it is on the color of your skin is silly, and that might be even the reason he says it, because it's to say like, oh, or that. To him, he's seeing it from the side. It's like, oh, that's absurd that you would even think that it's valid to use that word to define someone. Like that's silly. But the other guy, he has hate in his heart. For him, that word, he feels power when he uses that word, and he can impress people. Blah blah blah, whatever.
It's all in his head.
It's all in his head. It doesn't actually.
That word does
You
not
can't hold
matter.
on to it
That word has no meaning.
unless you give it meaning. It's like
That word is literally just N. That's all it is. We just put it fast and we said this means this. And then that's all. And then now that we've said that, the game we've agreed to play is that we've given all those sounds a specific meaning. That's our ability that we've had as humans. Animals, some maybe they do. Dogs be barking, maybe they communicate between each other. I don't know, birds, whatever. But ourselves between humans, Homo sapiens, what the reasons why we beat Neanderthals is because of that ability. It's because of our ability to say sounds and have the sounds mean something and then universally agree on that. Same way we have this piece of paper. We've just agreed, since gold didn't work because it's finite, we just print this and we say this means something. And everyone has agreed that this means something. And then now we're able to play that game, and that has allowed us to have fucking cameras and phones and computers that improve every year. Just like that, same thing with words. The reason why I say let go, either everyone can say it or no one can say it. Until then, it's just a game. It's just a game that people are just modifying rules. It's such a game that now we've gone to the point where, oh, was that a A or an ER? Did he say what an ER? Oh my god! Did he say,
I must take action
Did you say-
because he has used his vocal cords.
Did you say
in a certain manner.
the ER version or the A version? That's like, bro, that sounds like a game. Did you use the white dragon or the red dragon?
Like,
oh man.
To me, bro, that's
The
just
white
silly.
dragon
Like,
has 200 more HP, so that makes it more powerful. That dragon means more. That's all it is. We're just playing stupid ass games, and we're just so lost in the machine that we've built that we're not realizing that
it's
we
like,
built this
and
machine.
you can empower yourself by not reacting, because by empowering yourself,
the best
you're
way
not
to
giving the other person any power to use that word. It's like if he keeps saying it 50 times in front of you and you don't get phased, he's gonna be sick of it. He's gonna be like, oh man, gotta find a new word. You know?
Gotta find a new word.
And then at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't matter.
Like, niggas woke up one day and they said, let's create the word nigga. And then from there, we've been lost in that. We created it.
And it's it roots
And
from,
now
I think
we're
it roots
lost
from
in it, and we're
I think it roots
governed
from
by it.
like the Spanish language. It means
Yeah.
negro, right?
Negro, it just means
Yeah,
black.
It just means black.
Bro, go on a Crayola box, find the black color, it says Negro right on it. Now white people say Negro, is like, oh, what do you say Negro? I'm like, yeah, he said black in Spanish.
Right.
That's
It
what
even
he fucking
it even
said.
got to a point where like you can't even describe this person as
Nigga,
black.
white people feel uncomfortable saying the black man.
And that's like
That's just
it's
when it
from
gets
both
too
sides
ridiculous.
too. It's from both sides. It's
Oh
like
yeah, 100%.
because you bring the tension to the table.
It's
It's
a
like
game we're
do not
playing.
say this or else we will react. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Because okay, it's like do you know what I mean though? Because like okay, you bring this tension to the table, which is if you say this word, we will react. You put that on the table. That tension is created. The other guy sees it on the table. And now he has to sort of maneuver around it. He can't even say the word
Everything
black. He
just
can't even
starts
say
feeling
Negro.
Superficial, and people can't even express their ideas properly because there's this person waiting
And then
for you to fuck up.
It just and this guy might be sort of offended for some reason.
What good does it do you to get offended by a word?
None. I mean, unless
Faggot.
unless you're like in the military and go stop.
R.I.P. Ataraxy podcast. Yo, it's done, bro.
See, that's also the problem with
Shout out,
modern
Pride.
with just modern society.
You
It's
have to
like
do some damage
that's
control.
also the
I got a
modern.
new PR.
I was saying like that's also the problem with modern society. It's like you're so sensitive that you can't even express yourself.
Bro, I love my gay niggas, bro. I'm probably gay myself. Listen, I don't like me
Right?
saying
We all have feminine and masculine energy.
me saying the F word doesn't fucking mean and then I say fucking after. Me saying the F word doesn't mean anything. Like I literally just said it with a smile on my face because I
Oh,
in
you
the
said
context
you
of this
swore?
of the fucking conversation.
I will have to review that on your job application because you just used your vocal cords in a certain matter.
And like the point is like if let's say I'm a friend with you and I don't know, you're fucking gay or whatever. And we're good friends, like we've known each other for a good time, and your tipping point for that friendship is me saying a word in a context that is not even meant to be offensive. Why would you just let that ruin a 10-year-old meaningful relationship for a word that was just made up? That's just made up. Was meaning is made up. But you're so attached. This is the whole thing. Attachment brings suffering. Your attachment to the meaning of that word is the reason why that emotion arises every time it's said. It's because you're attached to this. Letting go means let fucking go of that meaning. Either you let everyone say it or no one says it. And it'll stop being a whole thing. the conversation will end if everyone can say it or if no one can say it. It's how it is. That's how it's always been.
It's
Nothing
funny.
means
It's so
anything.
funny because like you can also tie this back to meditation. It's like, bro, just shut up and observe your breath for an hour.
episode if he doesn't talk about meditation.
And bro,
Liverpool.
it's the root of all
He doesn't
solution.
have soccer in there.
It's like you can't help other people if you can't help yourself, right?
Yeah, correct.
So how do you do that? You first of all get away from all your attachments. I mean, it's so easy to say, but everybody has it. Like everybody has it to some degree. Some people it's higher. Some people have millions of them. Some people they only might have a few. Even monks do, right?
Yeah, sure. But like also I think that like for us
Yeah,
considering like where we're at, you know, we're in Canada, Ottawa. Like I feel as though that like our perspective on it, like our take on it isn't really as developed
Right.
as people who go through that on a daily basis, being
yeah, of course.
discriminated against based on I don't know, maybe the way that they dress, the color of their
Yeah.
skin, some shit like that, you know. If I were like if we had a fucking nigga from I don't know, New York, some Brooklyn nigga
New
right here
York.
right now, some stop and frisk ass nigga.
And man, it's just crazy that like people care. Like, one, like you're the pigment of your skin. Two, who you're putting your dick into. Like, why does that matter to you to the point where you feel like you can't speak to this person was completely normal aside from this one little thing about
They're
them?
exactly just you.
They're literally you. All you're doing is just hating yourself. All hatred is self-hatred.
But say like for like some niggas who may like be watching this shit and they're thinking like, damn, Mr. Acris and Mr. Paris are fucking.
You forgot my name.
No, I didn't forget your name, nigga. It's just a new name for you. Go listen to Paris, by the way.
You forgot my name.
Nigga, I didn't. But anyway,
He did.
they might be thinking like, oh shit, these niggas are being way too lenient on the fucking niggas trying to oppress the other niggas.
We're not though.
They're just fucking victimizing.
I think they're just
Those-
jealous that we're able to have access to this viewpoint.
Word?
Cannot.
I think they're just
Are you speaking directly to me?
No,
sir?
just
Oh, man, I love that.
just the space.
Nigga doesn't
that-
want any smoke.
that-
Bro,
your mind's
anyone
occupied.
who knows me knows how I am, bro. There's like anyone who knows me knows like I'm not the type of nigga to give a fuck about just small.
I'm so glad that you're black too, so I can I can say things and know that
a black
you
man
also
approves.
approves. So it's not just.
And it's
the
funny
fact-
because
not
I'm
just
coming
because
from
of-
that side of like super like progressive and super super on a defense kind of black person who was like, oh, black people can't say that, blah 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 blah. I was on that side. I don't know what happened. I just completely changed my point of view, but I've evolved into a better human being like I'm supposed to. It's just I don't know, man. I don't see human beings for like shit, trivial surface level shit. Like you dress a certain way, you like a certain type of people, you say it's certain type of things. As long as you're not like forcing it on me and calling me wrong for not like seeing the world the same way. As long as you're good with that and you're just doing your thing, you're confident in the shit that you're doing, just like I'm confident in the shit that I'm doing, and we just both know we're just two different perspectives. I'm good. Just don't be a dick and be useful. Be useful to the fucking planet you live in. And don't be a fucking asshole for no reason. And don't bullshit nobody. That's all I care about. That's what I discriminate. I discriminate bullshitters. Get the fuck out of here with that.
And also, it's like it's easy to say, right? It's easy to say, don't do this, but it's like, how can I do that from within myself?
Exactly.
Just from hearing it. Meditation, bro. Fucking observe your breath. And it's so easy. Like
watch yourself
we
breathe.
say it, but and I feel like me saying this so many
manually.
times trivializes it.
Yeah,
But I don't mean to
desensitize
do that.
people
I
to
do
that.
not mean to do that at all. I'm just saying that this is one solution to that problem.
It's the first step at least.
It's the first step, and it's
Before you start, like the answer is never outside of you. It's never. Like if you're constantly finding yourself blaming other people, you should probably take a second and ask yourself what's going on in here. Because like it's probably just, they always say like the problems you find on other people are probably just problems
Right,
you see
it's
in
like,
yourself.
no,
You wouldn't be able to see
you
it
won't-
if you didn't know what it was.
You
right?
won't hurt other people if you don't have any anger within yourself. The people who do hurt other people, they have something boiling inside themselves. They need to somehow express it, so they do to others.
The most important thing, 7 Habits, Stephen Covey said in that book was It's 3 steps. You're born dependent, parents, environment, whatever, and then you become independent, and then you become interdependent, and you can't skip those steps. You need to become dependent, and you can't go to being interdependent is like a
Working
company.
together.
It's like a company. It's like
Collaboration.
It's like collaboration, being able to properly collaborate. That doesn't mean you're dependent on them. It just means you guys are all in the people
Right.
working.
It means you guys are all
for a
competent
greater
enough
cause.
in your own skill that you can come together and strive for a greater goal that you can achieve.
bigger than yourself, kind of shit. But you can't become interdependent without having been independent. Because if you depend on people, then it just collaboration won't work. Because you're just waiting on people to do
Right.
this.
It's like, hey, help
to
me
be-
with this.
Everyone
but
has
I
to be
can't.
disciplined and dependent on their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just figure yourself out first before you start trying to actually like communicating productively with other people.
I wonder
Until
how
then,
many.
everything's chaos.
I wonder
which
how
is-
many of our viewers have like a daily practice of just like a routine or like a meditation.
Oh my
practice.
God! Let us know on fucking
Yes.
Instagram.
We should
Dog.
start a poll because it just like centralizes things, so people don't have to like go out of their way because everyone's lazy.
Yeah, no.
Start a poll.
I don't
I'm
care
just
if
curious.
you don't come out and be ready to tell me. I don't care. What are you doing? I care, but nigga, if you can't fucking tap on a screen. Sorry, I've been burping. Tap on a screen and press a logo and pull up an app and swipe right, swipe left. I mean, you're swiping. Your thumb's going left, but the right screen is showing up. Swipe left.
Up is down.
Yes.
Left is right.
Yes. If you can't fucking press tap on a touch screen and then open an icon and then swipe left and then press the Ataraxy podcast and then type in what the fuck you do in the morning. Most people don't.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a routine, bro. It's like because
It's hard, but it's not.
like
It's like
so
you
easy.
just gotta like find 30 minutes
Well, it's a new
or
habit.
10 minutes. Yeah, it's a new habit.
It gets easier over time. Do you have a no?
Do you have a
actually,
daily
bro,
routine?
We're in.
Habit?
I know
Something
you
do every
don't.
day?
Wake up 6:15.
That's pretty
Shit,
good.
nigga. Oh,
He
school.
goes to school. He's still in high school.
6:15. You know, same. Eat breakfast. and Off it, nigga.
That's it, huh?
High school, but high school
Hard.
routines you on purpose though. I think high school is when you learn about routines because you have to wake up at the same time and get ready,
Yeah.
do your pack a lunch, bring your
There's
textbooks.
more consequences if you don't follow it.
Yeah, maybe high school is useful. It definitely is. Anyways, thank you for listening.
And on that note, 1001010101110101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010101010
？Matrix,
No.
No.
Wait, he just said give us money and binary code.
So,
I definitely like that did not get I love it.
all right, thank you for listening.
Oh man, why do I get so emotional, man? That's that shit showed up. Like, nigga had to do some quick damage control.
What did you say?
He said I love my pride. He said happy Pride Month. It's funny because it's Pride Month. Oh, I should have said that.